What's up, guys? It's Shane. I want to talk about 4 postures or positions that kids can do that adults can't, most adults. The first one is the squat with feet straight. Some adults can go kind of squat like this and hold their arms way, way out, and they're like, I can squat. But if you watch a little kid, they squat straight down with their feet narrow, straight ahead, no problems. And that's because they have the requisite ankle and hip mobility to do that. And if you watch a little kid playing, they walk around all day, coming and then just dropping straight down in the squat. They're in this position multiple times a day, which is why they can do it. Adults are victims of the if you don't use it, you lose it thing, because ever since we started sitting in school and then driving and then sitting in high school and college and sitting for work, our hips never go into this much hip flexion. We're always up here in a chair and we never drop any lower than that. So if you want to regain that ability, start practicing, seeing if you can sit a couple of minutes a day in the squat position. The other positions that kids can do that adults can't is just sitting with their legs across like this. This is called fire log pose in yoga, and it's kind of a more advanced position that adults have to work years to regain. I had to work years to regain. When I first started doing this position, it was like here, and it was not going any lower. And then I worked on my glute tissue, I stretched and pigeon pose, I worked on my IT band and my hamstring attachment points, and incrementally, month by month, it started getting down to where I was when I was a kid. So that's another position. Also, kids can sit seiza, which is having their feet together like this, heels together, sitting back on their heels, and they don't experience that as anything. Adults usually feel a lot of stress here on the front of the ankle because their tibialis anterior has gotten so tight that it's a problem, or they don't have that kind of knee flexion to be able to sit in this position. So to regain this ability, just get in this position, maybe lean forward a little bit to ease the pressure, and slowly over time you'll be able to sit back onto your heels more and more. You also can do a couple ankle mobility exercises to soften up your tibialis anterior, but that's worth regaining because full ankle range of motion is very helpful in life for squatting, for cutting, for playing sports, and for not injuring your knees and your back. If you have more ankle range of motion, that's mo better. So the last position, and probably the one that we see the least, is the W sit. That's where my feet are outside my hips, my knees are inside, and I'm sitting all the way up. This requires a tremendous amount of plantar flexion of the ankles, and it requires a tremendous amount of hip internal rotation in flexion, which is something that a lot of people are just completely missing, and something I was missing entirely in my right hip, especially because I have FAI, or femoral acetabular impingement, but I was able to work through that, and now I can sit in this position. I don't, because it's just I can sit in more comfortable positions than this, but it's nice to have this range of motion even if you don't use it often, and it says something about your hip health, your ankle health, and your knee health that you could sit in this position even if you don't choose to use that regularly. So I want to challenge you to try out those 4 positions, see how far away you are, and then just slowly over time, via your stretching practice, your mobility practice, your yoga, work your way towards these positions and enjoy.